So today I'm going to introduce to you about the needles. Most probably process of laparoscopy. This will be the outer diameter. There legs. We start aspirating. This 17 gauge needle idly. Okay. The first take-home message I want to give to you: what is the temperature? No one doing IVF from 𝐵𝐻𝐿ife. 𝐵𝐻𝐿ife here. Now I'll show you the picture from the close-up of all the needles, and let's see. And we have one more connection coming from the silicone bunch. This part will have a lure lock. So let's see what these terms mean. Send ultrasound waves in this needle. It will touch and go back, the same line. So visibility will be there, but not very good. When we make it echogenic and make the surface very serrated, extremely sharp. Sharper the needle, more are the chances of having a smooth injury. Sharper the needle, more are the chances of having a smooth injury. All these needles will have the following criteria. Composition: stainless steel 304. They have to have these sort of criteria being met. Every needle should have this thing written at the bottom. They write these things in one small box. This has been written here, as you can see, and it says that it is MEA tested. It's got endotoxin levels less than 20 EUs per device. Cell testing, that is. Then we have intracutaneous reactivity testing and sensitization tests. This part I don't know what they do here, but rest all parts are very well known to us and they are available. Data is on the internet. So levels of MEA testing, endotoxin and S are the ones which are very critical, and every needle should have these criteria. I won't go into the details because that is, all these needles have to be tested for human IVF. Same. There are ways to do it, and we normally cover it in our embryology classes at length for 4 to 5. To know for today that these should be written on the pickup needles. In case not written, don't need. Somebody may offer you a needle which is cheaper, which is pretty good, but in case they don't have SAL, endotoxin needle, then that's the way the needle will look like. The sharpness, we will have multiple bevels in the needle. This is the tip of the needle. So we'll have one bevel here and one bevel here, and one bevel is called triple grinding of the needle. It is non-coring. It won't go into biopsy. They're non-coring needles. And then on bunch, as I told you, very important part is to fit over our tubes, 14 ml tubes. This go to the OPU needle. This is around 90 centimeter, and this will go to the pump. Now, looking at the needle, the part of the needle which we can see, every needle, as far as possible, should have a kink sleeve. So whatever you buy, They should have a kink-resistant silicone sleeve. This is a blue color here. Why is it important? Because in case we don't have it, in case we see it here, this has got a kink-resistant silicone sleeve. It bends a bit. The silicone sleeve will avoid damage to the inner tube. This is one good the tubes. Silicone sleeve, you must see that your needle is having. Some other needles may not have it. Now, in case I like this one here we have this tubing metal rim. There is no silicone sleeve to protect this part. So in case there is any bend, if you cover it with a silicone sleeve here, this joint will become safer. Now, some people use dual recovery systems, which I don't feel it is of any importance. I've never used them. I really can't comment upon them. They're not actually required. But some people who use, they should know that needle has got two parts here. Other decision. That's the way I took a needle from the pick from the here. They'll have two parts of this, but I personally don't use it, and I really can't talk about it. But in case you see that needle, our needle here will be a single gauge 17 gauge needle with 1 centimeter, 1 mm inner diameter. But in case you use the needle, pick up the needle, which is a double gauge needle, you will find that it will have two openings. This is what you have to know, that openings are in the needle. Okay, this very important part. Triple ground needle tip. This means that we are grinding it here, grinding it here, and grinding it here also. Every triple grinding has been done on the needle, makes it very, very sharp, and it can enter the follicle easily. We have markings. We have echo markings on the needle like this. You can see the echo markings. These echo markings will reflect waves everywhere in multiple directions, giving you better options. And then the other end, some sort of a leer lock on which we can attach the ovum suction. It's got a leer lock. Then another important part, as I told you, that we should have a nice silicone bunch here. And this is the key of any good OPU needle, very soft and supple, which fits in any tube and locks it well. So these are the specifications of one of the good brands, as you can find. So an inner diameter of gauge, that will give you an inner diameter of 1 mm. It will be 1.42 mm, and length of echogenic markings will be around 22 millimeter. This is what you have to learn when you're talking about the basic needle, and these are the parts which you must actually know to form better. This is the leer lock. As I've told you that every needle has a leer lock. So this is the leer lock, and this will go to the OPU. These are the markings of the needle. In case ultrasound wave will go back, but in case they come here, they will scatter in every direction. So this will give you wider dispersion field. So echogenic markings are very important. They should start as near the beveled edge. So give you the entry when the follicle is normally empty, then the follicle. So they are basically etchings. These parts are covered for you. One important part is the 14 ml poly round bottom tube. This is a great help to us, and this is the one which we are normally using. Is can will show to you soon. So in case you look at this tube, in case you look from very close, they have got some numbers written here. They're markings 1 to 14, and these markings are very important for us when we are doing the ovum pickup, because we never fill the tube more than 8 ml. So mark here only this much tube we should be normally filling with the aspirate. Here the markings go till 12, 30, touches 14 ml, and here we get the cap. Get a cap here. So 8 ml. 8 ml is our limit. Well, just the way it looks, we have two portals. One tube is coming from the needle, a wider opening like this, from which your OCC complexes can easily pass and softly fold. This is for the negative suction in the tube. This will go to the OPU pump. This is how the whole assembly works. We have an OPU pump here. In case you look at the various parts of this pump, this is from which we carry out negative suction. We keep it at around minus 120 millimeters of mercury. If you find pressure will be very high here, and as you go near the pressure here will be barely around 5 to 10% of the pressure. Once the system stabilizes, yes, the pressure will improve, but initially pressure is delay. So we have the needle here, the follicle here. As you see, there's a needle tip in the follicle. It's very beautifully written here. It's a needle tip follicle. The pressure being applied like this. This is a handle. It's a colored handle which I've showed you, and then the needle will go down, as I've told you, around 35 centimeter or 30 centimeter, and this tubing is around centimeter. Or maybe 500 millimeter, sorry, not centimeter. And then this is tube, it's a 14 ml collection tube. And then the negative suction will come from here, and it will is created, and the fluid will keep falling here. And around 8 ml of the tube and kept at 37 degree centigrade. In case we have a crack here, or there's a kink here, in all these conditions, the suction will stop, or the silicone bunches in the suction will be lost. So we have to see, in case we are not getting good amount of suction is down from minus 120 degree millimeters of mercury, the maximum which I keep. Normally we should work between 120 negative pressure. This is a suction pump. We can use dual foot suction, in which we have suction here in maximum till minus 250 millimeters of mercury, approximately from here, and the other one can give you negative suction to the tune of minus 100 of mercury. So in case we have choking of the tube becomes choked. In that case, we can always use more pressure. In case we have some blood clot coming inside, or there's a tissue comes inside, coring occurs, then we can use this particular. This is a glass bottle. Here the bottle is basically called water bottle. Water bottle. In case the fluid is heavily sucked, then it will get locked here. So basically, in case we have direct suction from here to the follicle, in case we have tube and we don't stop the suction, the fluid will go from this and go and choke the machine. So we all put some sort of here, or we put a glass bottle here. So in case fluid comes excessively, it will fall down here, and then it choke the. These are recommended vacuum settings. What I want to tell you is that, and as per the lumen 16 or 17, the vacuum may, it doesn't change much, but it does change. So just remember that for around 80-90 centimeters, we are always working to be the safer side to the maximum of minus 120. We don't cross minus 120 millimeters of mercury, though the recommended is we can go till 150 in case length 10 centimeter. This is from the company's manual. But remember, don't read between the lines, but minus 120 only. The simple pump which we normally show and which we use, and that's the way the pump works. As you can see here, it can go to maximum pressure of minus 200 as per the green safe line, and we are working at around minus 120. And then, as I told you, that this is the point from the suction pump, and this will attach with the tube. This is the glass jar. This will take in all the fluid and gets collected here. In case the collection system, there's a possibility of fungus, so we have to be careful when we are handling it. So maximum pressure we use is minus 110 or 120. In case you get blocked, and you're working on older pumps, they will have a red button which you just press here. This will increase the pressure to around minus 400. The foot pump, a conventional foot, we have 2 foot pumps, then we don't have this red button. These are new pumps which are 2, and we have 2 pumps, and everything can be done digitally. Just press few buttons and you can set up the things as you want to. Or a pass window from which the things can be passed to you, and then we work under mode, and we always work on test tube heaters. Test tube heaters are very important part of working, and this will maintain the temperature to 37 degrees centigrade. We need a stereosome echo and work on a heated platform at 37 degrees centigrade. Here are a few things you all have to know. At any one point of time will lead to poor results, and these are aluminum anodized blocks which are kept at during the whole pump collection. Ultrasound machine is important, and we need a TV that. then we have to cover it with a sheet like this, and then we have to put a biopsy guide. For sake of simplicity, I won't go into these details because that's a different class we have. But you have to know that we always have to work on a probe settings and always work with the biopsy guide on. And biopsy guide will always give when we are entering the vagina. This is for the transabdominal. In the transabdominal, we normally have very acute angles for biopsy guide, but in TVS, that's the way it works. And our vaginal probe will be something like this. And on this, we see probe on which the needle can go inside following this dots. The needle biopsy guide, which is mounted on a TVS probe, as you can see here. This is a hollow tube, metal tube, which is mounted on the biopsy guide, and this is the opening through which the needle and go inside the vagina and do the ovum pickup. This is the hole in which our OPU needle will go under ultrasound guidance, and then it'll come out from here and the ovum pickup. As you can see here, to keep it visible so that you know how things work, and then when it goes inside, it will go inside the vagina, and these serrations will be visible on the ultrasound screen. We never fill these things more than 8. This you have to remember. So 8 ml, these are heating blocks, and maximum 8 ml of the fluid is taken in these blocks. They are made up of aluminium, anodized aluminium alloy. They preserve the temperature very well. The OPU kit tray, like any other small vaginal procedure. And this is the other end of the tube, which we are fitting with the lure lock on suction pump. We are going on the suction pump, as you can see here. And this will create this from this end. We work at -110. This you remember. Don't have more pressures, and you can use such dry bath warmers or a good ones, but never fill more than when you're doing the ovum pickup with the needle. Always cover so that light is not reaching. That's the way things are attached from the needle, and this is going inside the suction pump. We have to keep calibrating our test tube warmers all the time, amount of temperature, otherwise problems can arise. So when we fill the tubes, we fill only, they should never be filled so much, because that will lead to problems. Always fill till it's important. That's the way it fits in. As I showed you that this is a bigger hole, so that our OCC complex will come from here, and this other tube which you can see is the one which ends here. This is the one which is gonna go, and this will go to the suction pump. Dead volume of any needle is 1.5 ml. So this is a collection system. The dead volume from here, the whole thing, dead volume will be around 1.5 ml. So before aspirate some media and fill it till this point of time. So it will have volume. Before you start any procedure, aspirate 2 ml of the fluid so that the whole dead volume. It's got a lot of mechanics in it. They got cappuccino effect, rapid oocyte recovery, ROC, frothing. A lot of things occur in the whole process, but that is beyond non-laminar flow, turbulent. Today class was really for 1 hour, so I couldn't touch on all these things. So to conclude, that basic understanding of the equipment is very essential. In case we don't have that, then probabilities in selection of the needles and the OPU pump and the tubes. You have to be very careful. Needle gauge, length, aspiration pressures, and as far as possible, have a non-turbulent fluid. Have a laminar flow of the follicular fluid. In case we break laminar flow, we'll have a problem. There are multiple needles available in the market. You can buy it from Origio, CCD, Wallace. We have 𝐂𝐤𝐤𝐻 coming up, Cook. No needle is perfect. No needle is bad. Every needle is as good as other needle. And they all cost around 1,200 to rupees 1,800. You have to pick up the needle of your choice. Don't reuse the needle. Use it only once, because all these needles have got a coating inside. They would have coating inside smooth movement of the OCC complexes. In case we reuse it again, then all the proteins will dip this needle, and then the newer coming eggs, the second case, will have damage. That I shared with you today in around, I've taken around 1 hour plus 1 hour and 20 minutes I've taken. This is what and with this, I'll end my talk. And for next 10 minutes, I will take any queries from your end. I have tried to give you some brief outlook of the OPU needles. Not gone into the ovum pickup because that's around 6 to 8 hours of class. Long classes we have on that. Today, I just want to tell you about their work, their mechanics, how to handle them, the parts of an OPU needle. I'm sure you would have learned something.
It's wonderful talk. It's wonderful talk.
Good.
It's wonderful talk and very informative about the basics of OPU.
Thank you so much.
Nice talk,
It was really a wonderful, very informative talk.
Thank you. Any queries?
Justice to the topic, and on only the needle, this much of information nobody gives. Thank you so much.
Sir, I want to know what, do you have these curtain raiser sessions?
We have it every month. Normally we invite fresh people.
It's bad.
Yeah, we want to reach as many number as possible.
Okay.
So we never repeat people because we want to.
Many people.
This batch I couldn't. I went out of control. Normally we don't have more than 15 people in. Come, I just couldn't say no. I don't know. We got 30. I'm so sorry. We should be having a smaller. But these we have every 3 weeks, and we cover the topics which are very non-conventional topic.
Yes, agreed, sir. Never read about them in detail.
So everyone will teach you, but nobody will teach you the needle. So it's a type of, we had a talk on microscopes, then air handling units. So we pick up those abstract IVF lab, or how to clean an IVF. So these things are not given anywhere. Everyone says it's something like, still a child. When I was actually a child 20 years back, 25 years back, one query was there in any lecture. Give the injection. I've given clomiphene. The follicle is not ruptured. What should I do? Doyens of infertility taking this question. And anyone will given HG 10,000, follicle is not ruptured. So I have not picked up those topics as such. Those controversies are kept aside. the topics all when you start your small IVF and learn.
All
And
right.
that's
Thank
it
you,
from
sir.
my side. Thank you so much. Any queries from anyone, any of my friends from abroad, our old friends? Anyone would like to know anything more about the OPU thing? You can always.
Talk. I have heard you. Some part was common to our lectures earlier, but in the you learn something new because perhaps you go your own way. Already thought of lecture, so small little bit that you add, you find it very very interesting and very well conducted.
What to
Thank you.
Dr. Bindu. You guys are so big. It's only we make a small connections. We connect with you all. We meet. We're all like you. We're all working like you as a gynecs everywhere. No difference. Probably I only.
Your
Thank you so much, ma'am. So Pooja, you can ask any queries for joining in and blessing us. Thank you so much, ma'am. Always a lot to learn from you.
nice, sir. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. So Pooja, you can sum it up.
Yes, thank you, sir. Thank you for the wonderful lecture. And I am feeling so blessed every time to hear from there's something new. And I've been without any fail, I have been in all the classes. And trust me, sir has I think ocean of knowledge. And every lecture is so unique and different and not at all planned, I guess. So PPT sometimes they are here and there the same, but the way he conducted the courses with the way he actually gave the knowledge, that's completely different, and I think nobody can actually conduct that well. So I'm really blessed, and I hope you all have get a little bit or knowledge about the OPU needles. So we are basically, I in the end, whenever I summarize, I always say, okay, this is not a class. This is an initiative, and this is an initiative to join us as a family for the lifetime. Whenever you are anywhere in the world, in India or anywhere, we should be thankful for this platforms. For the digital platform where we can connect from any part of the globe, and that's a really nice blessing. So be connected with us, be with us as a family, and thank you so much for joining us today. Any query, anything, you can just do a WhatsApp, or you can directly call us. You all have numbers. We might be busy, but we will always revert you, maybe not on the same day, the next day or some other time. So thank you so much. And if there any question left, we have 5 more minutes to conclude. So you can ask any questions. We are ready.
So I had one question.
Yes, बताओ. Tell me.
Yeah, so a question है कि most of the people don't use that water bath we call it, that tube warm and then we give it to the embryologist. So is it a right practice, or we water bath is always
That the temperature of our lips will be different from the temperature of our oral cavity. Not on our lips. Okay, am I right or wrong?
yes, sir.
So the temperature of which is hanging outside centigrade, and ovaries will be 37 centigrade. So it's a very wrong concept of never criminal, because this is a tube we are holding. Now I'm
Yes,
holding it. There's a problem going on. I'm holding it very firmly. But how about this?
true.
No, Dr. Geeta, ma'am, Dr. Geeta Khanna can I probably comment upon this because Dr. Bindu can comment on this. I don't think the way to hold the tube as firmly as I'm holding now and still maintain temperature, because this way, and when we want to change the tube, then again it will come out in open, cold air. So always, Dr. Vinita, Dr. Geeta, Dr. Bindu, anyone.
They're very right, very rightly said. We have to use the block. Carry, cannot take it, not to hold by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yes,
The block has to take the
Cooling will occur, no, ma'am? So
yeah, definitely, definitely.
they should be aluminum size blocks. This is separate CR we have on this. I mean, you may feel blocks only. What are these blocks? How they work? Don't use any painted blocks. What people do is that they'll give you New Year. They will call up Dr. Shende. Sir, IVF लगा लीजिए. They'll give you the package. New Year Christmas package.
Yeah.
They'll give you all painted blocks. You'll be very happy to look very pretty, neat. But they were have highest quality steel. We have separate classes, different batches. 304. Sometimes we have 3.6, sometimes we have 3.3. Every steel has got a different purpose. Less corrosive and less scratch resistant. Some steels are used to make. For blocks, we have to have only aluminum alloy and anodized with sulfuric acid. With of around 2 micrometer. Otherwise, the blocks won't work. They won't maintain that temperature. So people put color on that. You'll color, so don't take them. I just give you some input. So we always use, as Madam brought out, both Dr. Geeta and Dr. Vinita, we have used the aluminum alloy anodized blocks. That's all. That's the only thing I want to tell you here. And anyone can ask. Doctor.
Yeah, thank you. No, sir.
So if none, I think we'll say goodbye and we'll keep in touch.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you everyone. Thank you everyone for taking some precious
Thank you, sir.
time and joining us. Thank you so much. Stay connected.
Thank you so
Thank you. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Vinita, ma'am.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Geeta, ma'am.
Thank you.
And Happy
Thank
New Year
you
to
so
all
much.
of you. Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you very
Yeah,
much.
Happy New Year.
Thank you.
Pankaj.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.
Happy New Year. Bye.